The following podcast does have an explicit tag, and boy, have we earned the right to use it.
One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door.
Yes.
Jason, can you hold the door for me?
Fuck you! I'm just now getting over it. I'm like, okay, it's been 3 days, and then I was like, no.
So this is how we're going to start the episode tonight.
Damn it!
You're listening to another episode of Not Another Atheist Podcast, brought to you by the great minds that sometimes think alike, Jen and Keith. Jen, say hello.
No, fuck you, asshole. Piece of shit.
We have a special treat tonight. We are joined not by one or two, but three people that have all come together to create one small comedy troupe.
I'm so proud of you. We worked so hard.
We did, and it took a lot of work, but I got there. I'm working on counting to like 4 and 5. That's next week.
We'll get to 10 by the end of the summer.
But since you've already heard me talk about Jason, I guess I should introduce the three gentlemen who have joined us this evening. We have Jay, Jason, and Jeremy.
Hello.
Yeah, just a heads up, this is an audio show. They can't hear you waving.
Yeah,
they can.
Okay, I thought we were supposed to be told when to talk. Okay, hello, everybody.
No, you don't live in my house. I mean, you're just here as a guest.
Right. I guess out on the back porch where I sleep because I'm not allowed inside.
Yeah, you're not allowed inside. I haven't potty trained you yet, so you're not allowed in. Yeah.
He just has to have a pee-pee pad.
Well, my last family allowed me to poop on the carpet, so it's just different. I'm just adjusting. Thank you.
You're adjusting.
So it's their fault.
Yeah,
okay.
Their fault.
So I guess we'll start off down the line. We'll get everybody introduce themselves. I'm just going to go from left to right to my little windows here. So we'll start off with Jay. He's been the quietest so far.
Hello.
Hi, Jay. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about you. What's really relevant? What's your deepest, darkest fear?
My deepest, darkest fear.
Silence.
Silence of the Lambs.
That's his darkest fear.
That's my darkest fear. Writing comedy is my darkest fear. Honestly.
That's valid.
Nobody fucking told me this was going to be a goddamn therapy session tonight.
I know, right?
A fucking intervention to see if I have actual feelings.
No, I was told that this was a therapy session because we're all fighting right now and we need to work out our feelings. What the fuck is...
Wait, is this an intervention to see if I actually have fucking feelings? Because guess what? It's no. The answer is no.
No, this is an intervention for me to see how many feelings I actually do have.
Okay.
Because I'm always crying.
Okay. Carry on then.
So moving on from Jay, between Jen and Jason, we have Jeremy. Jeremy?
What's up?
How are you doing this evening?
So enthusiastic.
I know.
Trying to not become a piss-drunk cock. There you go for your post-production.
Yes, I can add that to the end. This might be the easiest edit ever. I might just rip the audio from the video, from the group chat here, rude coughing involved and all and everything. And then just copy paste it into my editor, put in a couple of funky sound effects, and away we go.
That works.
So Jeremy,
yes,
tell us, what is your grossest kink that you have really never tried with anyone, simply because you know that you might end up in jail?
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Are we setting up a dating service for me now?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that one honestly. But let me try and give you a bad one.
Is it that bad?
Yes. Oh, no. Wait. Did you just deep like a fucking sheep?
Yeah, that joke was bad and I feel bad.
Do you guys see the goat behind him? Just want you guys to see the goat.
Yeah, I have a trolling thing that is a persona that I do as a goat, that I troll racist and stupid people on social media.
Oh, you're a racist goat.
No, I'm not actually racist goat, but I have partaken in things like take down Facebook pages and anti-science people, like pro-woo people, for when they attack different companies.
Fun. Oh my god.
This is
Ladies
not
and
kinky,
gentlemen,
so,
he is admitting to being a paid Hillary Crone on fucking
Shut up.
Facebook. Okay.
Dude, if I had $1 for every time I got called a shill in my life, man, I would have a Ferrari in my driveway right now. But let me see. My kinkiest thing, it would have to involve blood.
See, that's my line. I can't handle blood. I can't handle it. It's a personal thing. That's the line with me.
Yeah, but if you look at
Bodily
Jeremy, he's
fluid.
very pasty. I think he might actually be a vampire, so it makes sense.
That is a true story.
Like, I'm into some kinky shit, but bodily fluids is where I kind of cut the line, because I have a 4-year-old and I've seen horrific bodily fluids, and it just kind of fucked my mind up from there on out. So.
Excellent, excellent. So now we're going to introduce Jason. He helped me set up the first little bit because he's the only other person who's not as into Game of Thrones. So Jason, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing tonight? And if you could be taken on a date by one of the horrific historical figures, who would it be and what would you do?
It would have to be Jesus, and I would use his hands and explore his, let's say, how do you say, holiness?
The glory hole.
Yeah, I don't want to go there, but that's pretty much what I do. I would ask him a lot of questions, like, why the need to kill yourself? Did we hurt you that bad? Do you need a safe space? All these questions I have for him. So that's who I would choose.
I'm going to call bullshit on that one.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to say it's Pol Pot because he's into young Asian men.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
You know what's funny about that is I always tell people I'm not into Asian women, but I don't tell them I'm not into Asian men.
He's just searching for the happy ending, ladies and gentlemen. That's all.
Sometimes they're not happy. Sometimes those fucking women are very mean and very hurtful. Just PSA.
They just want to love you long time.
That's why you go to the massage parlor, not the fucking S&M club. I mean, I thought we talked about this.
They're the same exact fucking thing. They're the same thing.
I gave you directions.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, at those parlors, like, when they offer the happy ending, like, do you get a choice of, little handy J that, because it's a small person, it makes everything look a little bit bigger? Or do you get, like, offered an egg roll?
It depends on how old the lady is. The older she is, the more you have no control over what's happening. And the egg rolls are usually reserved for the younger women because they're not experienced, so they have to be trained. And there's this schooling, and it's just a long process. I've read up on it. I'll send you guys.
So they
some
use the egg roll to massage the prostate because they're not as experienced in handy J's, so they have to make sure it's a happy ending. Is this how this works?
Well, they have done that, even though they're not supposed to. I didn't know that until a few months later in a hospital visit. But
okay.
Yes.
Oh, did it get infected?
I wouldn't use the term infected. I would use the term life-threatening. Is that safer radio? I think life-threatening is the way to go.
I think we've already used up our free pass on not using the explicit tag like in the first 10 seconds. So yeah, from here on out,
this is my show. I mean, this is come on, I'm on the show.
Well, considering we haven't prayed at all, I just figured that I don't want to push anybody's buttons. So.
But Jay told me that if I did that thing for him, that would consider a prayer. I got down on my knees, and I cried, but
he likes it when you cry.
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird. I don't get it because
so that's that.
If you're not crying on your knees, you're not doing it right.
Right.
So that's why he was plucking my nose hair, is to keep the tears going.
I like my victims happy. It's just weird when they cry. I don't get it. But that's his thing. Jay likes it when they cry.
I do.
So.
I just like them broken. I don't need tears. I just like them broken.
So, okay, I have to ask then, is your favorite song by the Bloodhound Gang, A Lap Dance Is So Much Better When the Stripper's Crying?
Of course.
Actually, there's a couple others that are better than that.
Look, I'm sorry. Serious time here. I'm a big Nickelback fan, so I don't listen to anything else.
Oh! They're from here. Oh.
That's what you say when you're on a date with a girl and you're not really into her. Or a guy, whoever you're into, that's what you say.
No, Justin Bieber works so much better.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know. I think Nickelback is just like the greatest thing ever. Check please.
If you're on a date and you absolutely fucking hate the person you're with, start going into being a part of the Justin Bieber fandom.
Here's the problem with that.
They have posters and cutouts and shit. They get freaked out.
Look, here's the problem with that. That only works when you're dating like someone 12 and under, because only they know who Justin Bieber is. You have to. Usually, the adults. It works on the adults. I don't date anybody under. 12,
Oh, okay.
so.
You want to know? You want to know where you're going with your date? Then ask them which is better, One Direction or Justin Bieber. I'll tell you.
One Direction all the fucking way.
All
man.
the fucking way.
All the fucking way. Harry Styles is my man. Me and Rachel.
He is mine, bitch.
I will cut you. I will cut you.
I will bite your dick off in this threesome.
Rachel will come in here and reach her paws through the computer screen and tear out your hair.
I bite off nipples. Can't do shit
that.
in the emergency room now, can you?
I know Rachel has to.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 men on this panel are going to have to go change their pants at that thought. Biting off nipples.
Yeah, Rachel just came in here. She's like, did I just hear Rachel Styles? I mean,
tell her. You cut all
wait. What? Did you guys just fucking hear that? I said Rachel Styles, and Rachel's like, I'll go with that.
Keep
waking up.
Tell her. He cut all his hair off. He's fucking hot as hell now. He cut all his fucking hair off.
I don't know if she agrees with that, because she saw that picture too. I can't believe
her man with a little.
I want 4 hours with this guy. I want 4 hours with him.
You're gonna murder him.
So what are you gonna do with 3 hours and 59 minutes of crying?
I will guarantee.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm not saying who's gonna be crying. I'm just kind of curious. What are you gonna do with that time?
I guarantee she's gonna be crying when she finds out he's gay.
That's never stopped me before.
Are you kidding? In the beginning, we were talking about arsenals.
She's like, I'll cut all my hair off. I'll wear a binder so you can't see my boobs.
Oh my god, I'm like an A cup. I don't even need to do that. I just come on.
So Jenn did not bring the bees.
Okay, fair enough.
I have apparatuses that can attach appendages.
Okay, so you remember how we were talking about Jenn's vibrator earlier, and she's like, I'm a single mom, I have an arsenal. Well, she also has strap-ons.
No kidding.
I've had a few exes that were into pegging, and
it's like you and I are so similar, you know? So similar. Or actually, you and your exes and me are so similar.
I've had a few exes that were into pegging, and I'm very much the you never know when you're going to need it type of gal.
Oh, jeez.
I kept them.
People are going to listen to this and be like, is Pastor J... is he into pegging?
Oh, fuck, like they didn't already know.
Now
they do.
Totally off the track and completely deterred anybody who might be interested in coherent and cogent conversation.
Let's have one of those. Let's have one of those.
Let's pretend. Let's pretend.
I know we can do it.
I have to pretend I'm intelligent again.
Let's play that old-timey music.
I do it all the time.
I gotta do my philosophical pose.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And angelic.
Wonderful. All right, so the three of you kind of all fit together. You all are tied to this Pastor J bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
All right, so is Jay Pastor J, or is he just behind the scenes writing some of the jokes?
Here's how it works.
Oh, no, it's okay. I wasn't asking Jay any questions.
Jay, go ahead. Sorry. I was just fitting into my character. Leave me alone.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Oh, that was
There
funny.
we go. Okay.
God did not want him to answer that question.
I know, right? As soon as I start talking.
Oh, shit.
God hates Jay more than the rest of us.
Sorry, I'm talking in tongues again.
Yeah, we've had a lot of bad conversations before. I'm most of the time behind the scenes, doing the writing. Every once in a while, I'll pop in a video or two. Whatever Jason has in mind. He'll be like, "Hey, can you do a video of this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
So what you're telling me is that in addition to sharing your YouTube channel, I'll also be sharing your Pornhub channel.
Right.
Yeah. Or your Punished channel.
I have a lot more videos on that channel.
Actually, he shares the incest porn with me, but everything else is his own thing.
So he's got a Tumblr.
Quick sidetrack. Have you guys seen the guy that's posting as Bernie Sanders on Pornhub?
No.
No.
Commenting things. What was the one that I saw? If college was free, she wouldn't have to do this.
Oh, man.
Guys, the name is Bernie Sanders with a picture, and it says if college tuition was free, she wouldn't have to do this.
That is the most amazing thing ever.
And he's going around Pornhub, like commenting on videos.
Which
Hilarious.
video was that on?
I have no idea. It was like a
read the comment.
It was like a comment snippet on Twitter. But he's like, this guy's like going around on Pornhub and commenting as Bernie Sanders, and how porn can be so much better, and these girls don't have to do it if he's elected president. It's fucking crazy.
So in other words, he's going to get us a higher quality porn star.
Yes. I don't know. I kind of like that amateur. Doesn't quite know what the fuck she's doing kind of chick. Because once they've been in the business for a while, it's like, oh, this is like.
See, that's what I love too, though. The one like, what? When you see this look in her face, like, what the fuck did I get myself into? It's so fucking hot.
She's like, oh shit.
If you look closely in the background, there's always me just staring, like not even doing anything, not recording, just staring.
I'm the fluffer. I'm the fluffer.
Oh, good. Oh, good lord. Well, so if any of our listeners ever come across any of these videos, please forward them to us at nehehp@gmail.com.
My guidance counselor in high school asked me what my dream job was, and I honestly answered fluffer tester.
I don't think I attended high school enough to know who my guidance counselor was, honestly.
So, Jeremy, how do you fit into this little trio of trouble?
I've pretty much been there since the beginning. The very first video, Jason and his former roommate did a parody of this really stupid woman who was trying to prove that Monster energy drinks were satanic.
I've seen her.
So Jason came up with a brilliant idea of trying to out-stupid her by saying, no, Rockstar energy drinks are stupid. So he kind of asked me my opinion on it, and then he uploaded it, and it was great. It turned out to be a great video. The second video, though, was the Megan Fox Evolution, when she went. She audited a museum, right, Jason?
Yeah. She went to the Fuck, I don't remember anymore. It's like 2 years ago, like the Natural Sciences Museum or something like that.
Well, anyway, Jason knows that I have a strong fascination with biology and evolution. So he asked me, hey, could you help me write the script for our next video? So he and I literally got on Skype. We each opened the video on YouTube, and we'd play a couple seconds, and one of us would go, wait, how about this? And he would just write it down on a pad, like our ideas, and then that's how our second video got made. Then after that, it could just kind of, he came up with an idea, or I'd come up with an idea, and we just pass it off to each other and try and come up with something funny.
See, that's awesome, though. It's just like, oh, you're funny, I'm funny, let's get together and do this.
Well, before that first video, we actually wrote a song together.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. He took one of my poems and he wrote music to it.
I also do a lot of music. I have like 7 or 8 albums out right now on loststateofmind.com, and Jeremy knew that I wrote music, and I knew that once I saw the poem, I knew that he wrote poems, so I was like, fuck it, let me give this a shot. We've done 2 songs together, actually.
Right. But we did that one prior to the first Pastor J video, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta check this out. You guys do music, I gotta check this out now.
The music, it's funny because the music, like, if anybody that watches the Know the Truth Ministries channel, it's like, it's stupid funny, it's meant to make people laugh. In the atheism community, there are a lot of people out there that are pretty serious about a lot of shit, which is fine, but with our stuff, we just try to be funny. We try to make people laugh. I think Jeremy or Keith just left, but we're still live, so that's good. But
I'm still here. That's what matters.
No, we're waiting.
We all know who the real star is. Hi, Keith.
We're waiting. Oh, hi.
Sorry about that. I noticed that the video wasn't changing. I was changing the video because it was only focusing on me, and I'm sitting there going, I know I'm a vain prick, but Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on?
But yeah, when people if you listen to A Lost State of Mind, which is my music, it is the most depressing fucking shit. Even for me,
I love that really fucked up, depressing music.
Oh my god! Like even for me, if I go back, if I critique it, ask Rachel. Whenever I'm writing a song or if I'm working on an album, I'm like the most miserable person to be around. I'm so depressed and like emo and shit. Versus like doing the Pastor J song. So it's a huge difference. So like anybody that watches the videos who doesn't know about the music, just prepare yourself.
Watch it.
Yeah, just try yourselves. It's not the same thing. I'm not one of those funny people who writes funny music, but yeah.
No, you're
So
talking
you're
to
no
the chick
Weird Al
that
Yankovic.
Wait, what?
You're no Weird Al Yankovic.
Right, no way.
you're talking to the chick that puts her kid to bed and puts on shit like Ed Sheeran and of Monsters and Men and the Lumineers and fucking shit like that. You want to talk about depressing ass music? I'm shocked that I haven't had a horde of people slitting their wrist at my front door.
Well, I've written a lot of albums, and I've sung to a lot of those albums, and some of those lyrics are pretty, depressing. But my album Portsmouth and a lot of my newer music is musical, and because I liked, I wanted the music to kind of portray whatever I was going through at the time,
Right.
and that shit is more like dark and. Yeah, so just for anybody.
I get the fuck out of that though. Like I hear happy music, I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit.
I'll
Music's
send you a link. Then.
Music's like therapy to me, and I'm like, why the fuck do I want to listen to this fluff ass bullshit? No, I want to fucking feel, bitch.
I'll send you a link.
But we make one reference to Game of Thrones and Doors, and suddenly we're the bad guys.
Stop.
You guys are the bad guys. Don't bring me into
And then
this
and then he's gonna write the book, and then I'm gonna read it and cry all over again. Like even though I know it's coming, I'm gonna read this and be like,
I feel that it's necessary to point out that is a whole world of you problems right there.
You go full on fuel the fucking desire. He fucking sends me text messages knowing I'm just finishing with Game of Thrones, and he's like, "Are you okay? How was it?" And he knows I'm gonna talk about it. And then he's like, "Oh shit! So did this happen?" And I'm like, "You didn't even watch the fucking show. Why the fuck are you asking me questions?"
Because it is so fun once you get going. Usually these conversations don't start with me going, "Oh, what happened?" Usually they go, her messaging me as soon as it's over going, "Oh my god, I'm emotionally destroyed. I can't handle this." And I go, "Oh, what happened now?"
I like to emotionally torment myself. I feel it's purifying for me.
I know. Like,
Yeah.
I write music. I know. I understand.
I watch Game of Thrones. I used to write music. I watch Game of Thrones. I listen to horribly depressing music that makes me angry at people I've never met.
Oh, you're gonna love my albums. You're gonna love my music then. I sent you guys the link into that group chat that we've been on, so you guys can hear it.
I get notifications like half the time for that.
Huh?
I only get notifications like half the time for that.
It's on the group message. I'm letting you know it's there. Yeah, so it's at the very bottom. So
it's a purifying thing for me. It's like it makes me feel everything I think I should be feeling, and then I feel it, and I'm like, okay, I'm human. I'm good.
If you message me one day and you say I'm so depressed because of your music, I'll say yes, I did my job then.
See,
his music really reminds me.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, honey.
I'd say his music really reminds me, like a lot of the more depressing stuff, really reminds me of 9 Inch Nails' "Hurt." Like that song.
I love that one.
Jeremy, I'm about to fuck you right now. Just.
Whoa, this is
first time, darling.
This is YouTube. That stuff won't fly. I'll get my
inspiration for some depressing shit.
Like,
hit me up. I'll tell you what's
on my free cams. Or,
right.
What is it? Chat roulette and do that.
No,
but seriously,
I'm sorry.
Emotionally, it's along that same level to me. That's the way I see it, and it kind of the sound that he has always reminded me of 9 Inch Nails. So I guess I can say that. Well, 9 Inch Nails, which fucked Tool and gave birth to some fucking bastard child. But
we're not gonna. Yeah.
Oh.
That's just something I like to block out of my head and just pretend like it didn't happen. Yep.
So what is Pastor J?
Okay, so the character of Pastor J has evolved over the years. It's been about 2 years now, almost coming up on 2 years. And it started off, I mean, Jeremy touched on the whole rock star thing, which I needed to add to this. With our channel as a whole, we get more atheists mad at us than we get Christians mad at us because if we're going to keep score here, in regards to satire, it seems Christians are more intelligent than atheists are. Because I swear to God, like, once a week I get an angry atheist telling me how much of a retard Christian I am, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I had somebody the other day correct me because on a Rockstar video that I made, that's, I mean, you watch most of that video, you're like, okay, this kid's fucking around, but you see that image of that on the can of the guy throwing away the recycling. I made a comment how that's the guy throwing away the Bible, and that person lost their shit and was like, it's not the Bible, and I'm like, whatever, man.
Oh my god.
But it started off because, like, I was going through like a weird time in my life, but I was also, you know, kind of new into atheism, and I was just getting over my angry atheist phase. And when I saw that video of the rock star woman, it was like something in my brain just broke, and I was like, I can't get mad about this shit anymore. Like, and I can't get mad at stupid Christians anymore. This is funny. This is really funny. If everybody would just fucking put everything else aside and laugh at this shit, you know, they'd find humor in all this craziness. Yes, people get hurt, and that sucks and everything, but I needed a way to kind of joke about it. So that's where the rock star, and then that's where we did the Megan Fox thing. Now, over the years, like, we've kind of evolved into not just picking on Christians. We're kind of like anything goes, and everyone, you know, if you're stupid,
we're coming after you.
Yeah. And not to say. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was say we've done like satire, anti-vax videos. We've done satire, anti-conspiracy theory videos. So yeah, it's not. It just hasn't. Or political videos. Like, anytime somebody's been stupid on the internet, and it's gotten a lot of attention, we'll piggyback on that attention.
But not even that, because there's sometimes things will continuously happen that are stupid that we eventually just start making that, because in our videos there's a lot of subtleties and there's a lot of inside jokes between us. But going back to the one thing we haven't covered that I'm gonna hopefully post Friday, it might be later than that though, but I'm like almost done editing the video, is how and why Pastor Jay supports Donald Trump.
Oh my God!
But the thing about what we do with our videos is the whole purpose of it is it's one is to make people laugh at our stupidness, but it's also to undermine some of the silly ideas that these extremists have. So, like in this Donald Trump video, the character is talking about why you should vote for Donald Trump while giving all the reasons why you shouldn't really vote for him. Like, he lies and he's this. But of course, that's Pastor Jay's character mimics all those ideals. Right. So he's like, you should vote for him because he lies and all this stuff. So that's kind of like what we do now. And now it's not as directly focused on Christians as it is just, you know, it's evolved into, because Jay came on board and he started, like, Jay is a funny motherfucker. And so I was like, okay, we need to have him on board. And since then, we've we don't get any money for this.
Well, we don't know. He hasn't fucking spoken.
Hire him, trust him.
After I'm done talking, we're going to dedicate the next half hour to him, okay?
Start the clocks.
But no, now, like, so we, you know, the way I look at this whole project is it's fun for a group of guys, and as of right now, we have one woman that's working on this, Lucy D, and her boyfriend's working on this too, and it's a group effort. And you know, it fascinates me because I was chatting with a girl maybe a month ago, and she thought that I did this all by myself. And anybody that knows me, and especially these guys, they know that I don't like taking all the credit for it. One is because if I fuck up, I can blame them for it. But two,
which is exactly what I hold Keith around for. This is exactly like.
But two, it's just fun hanging out with the guys. It's fun getting a message from one of them, getting a script, and going, that is the dumbest shit I've ever read in my entire life. We're making a video out of that, and it's fun. It's like, you know, it's a bunch of guys hanging out, making fun of stuff, so we don't go crazy. That's really what it is. Oh my God.
But it also kind of brings awareness. I'm sorry, honey.
Yes, it does bring awareness.
It brings awareness to these really important and kind of hardline issues that are going on now that people have absolutely gone fucking insane about.
Yeah, and so, that's the whole thing.
They hear this crazy shit coming out of you guys, and they're like, where does this come from? There's no way this could be true.
Right, and that's what we like to bring attention to.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if the person talking is, you know, Donald Trump or Joel Osteen. If they say something that we see as stupid, or especially if it's dangerous,
you're going to
Jesus coming into your mouth.
Yeah, we're going to attack it full bore.
Well, the funny thing too is a lot of these scripts, like I'll admit, Jeremy and Jay, they're more original than I am. Even, you know, Lucy, she's new on board. She wrote a pretty original script. Hemet Meta actually hooked her up, and then she hooked us up with the script. But they're more original than I am and coming up with stuff. But sometimes I'll just be on the internet, and I'll give something away right now because this fucking blew my mind. I was reading just some Christian website, and I was writing a script on how to pray. And so I was like going through all these.
Sorry, no, laughing.
No. I was going through this through all these different articles so I can get a compilation of like how to write a script about how to pray. And so I just I started writing. I got the script done, and I was like, all right, I'm pretty happy with the script. I think I'm gonna call it a day. But I was at work, and I was bored, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go through a couple more things. Let's see what we have. And I came across this article that talks about the Our Father who art in heaven prayer. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be something I already know about, whatever. And so I'm reading the article, and it says, the motto for the Christian prayer in Matthew is the Lord's Prayer. Many of us have recited the prayer, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yep, I get that. Makes sense to me. And then it goes, let's break this down into layman's terms. And it goes, Our Father. And then the narration was, God wants to approach him as daddy. And I lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this wrote itself. And so I'm like screaming. I'm at work. I want to like tell everybody, but I'm in Texas, so everyone's a Christian. So I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, fuck it. So I copied and pasted like the narration, and I changed every word God. I changed that to daddy.
Wow.
So it turned into, he wants to take care of us and protect us. Daddy desires intimacy. Look up to Daddy, fear and revere him. He is all-powerful and can deal with all of our problems, even the big ones. Approach Daddy with awe and wonder. And it was just like, you know what? Like a lot of times, these things write themselves. Like, and not just that, not just like when we're kind of borrowing from what people wrote, but like, when we see somebody on the news, when most extremists of any caliber, I don't care if they're Christian or
political or
Alex Jones talking about Satan's gonna fucking steal space travel, like, you know what? You're just helping us. That's a thing.
The best was the video where Alex Jones was wearing the lizard mask, and he's going, "Oh yes, hello.
I get a kind of really kick about the whole lizard people. Because with the families that they've pointed out and the families that they say are this lizard race is actually my family. So I apparently am supposed to be this like shape-shifting lizard. And I'm like, no, I just ran out of lotion this week. I mean,
if you could shapeshift, you could
it rubs the lotion on its skin.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. It was winter. It was cold. I didn't feel like going out, and it affected my skin. I swear I'm not a lizard.
But see, and here's the deal too. Like the other thing about like talking about having these guys on board and how Know the Truth isn't me. I do the video part, but it's all of us, and it's mostly everybody else that contributes. Like even some people that have only contributed once or twice have added, even if it's a one-liner. And like Jeremy is good at adding. Like Jeremy and Jay are both completely different from each other. Jeremy he might know a lot more about, let's say, an evolution script, so he can add more there. And then Jay will come in, and like even if it's just one line, it completely turns the tide of the script. Mm-hmm. And I'm at work or I'm in my room while Rachel's trying to sleep, and I'm giggling like a fucking schoolgirl because Jay just wrote something that I just didn't see coming. And I'm like, and it's what makes it great, and it makes me proud because now I'm like, I have, at least I think 5 people now that work with us that aren't pissed off at the world because of stupid shit. And that's what we try to do. We want people to laugh. We want people to interact with us too. Our fan base is great because you look at any video and any comments, and like I'm still baffled by people that comment, "Is this guy for real?" Because I'm like, dude, if you would read the first 5 comments, some of them mimic our characters, and they're just as dumb as we are in a good way. Yeah. And I love it. I fucking love it.
See, the thing is, we get maybe, like, within the first month, we'll get maybe 35, 40 comments on a video. But what's really cool is at least 10 of those commenters comment on absolutely every video. So it's cool that we do have, like, a small group of people, and the way, it's not that they comment, it's in the way they comment.
Yeah.
You understand it's satire. They're speaking directly at Pastor Jay. They're asking him for advice and stuff like that. So it's absolutely awesome for us.
Yeah.
But what I was going to add earlier is my favorite stuff with working with these people, especially Jason and Jay, is unfortunately not the stuff that people get to see. It's what happens within our daily conversations when we're
Yeah.
trying to discuss
Yes,
something.
I completely
It
fucking
is-
identify with
oh
that.
my god, these guys have me busting up every day. Except for Jason when he sends us stupid voice messages, I never listen to them. It's usually bad timing.
Yeah, I gotta ask, what the fuck is up with that?
Well, let me say that usually the voice. I mean, it's okay that he doesn't listen to
I'm
this.
just fucking with you. I do listen to them, but it's usually later. I
Oh.
get a chance to listen to live. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, it's weird because usually when I send voice messages, it's just the sound of me masturbating, and I don't like.
It is. I fell for it. I totally fell for it.
Was
It
it you?
sounds, it sounds
Okay,
like someone stirring mac and cheese. Honestly.
Well, it is mac and cheese. I had an accident when I was younger with a pogo stick. I made a video about that. So,
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah, it's one of the. It's really. I did make a video about that because that really fucking did happen to me. But yeah, I'm done.
Honestly, though, we do seem to have this natural ability to play off of each other.
Right.
We know each other's strengths, so we really push them to the limits. And like Jason said earlier, we do have a lot of inside jokes when it comes to the script. Yes, some of those come from those conversations. Some come from earlier videos. One of my favorites recently was somebody on our video put out a little rant about ancient goat herders. And that one really made me laugh because I was like, yes, we understand that. But what had happened was we had a guy who commented like 3 or 4 videos in a row just talking shit to us. That's all he was doing. And Jay, just to be a fucking asshole, just said, fuck your stupid fairy tale book written by a bunch of fucking goat herders, knowing perfectly well it wasn't actually written by goat herders, right? So, as a big fuck you to that guy, in our next video, Jay threw that in the script. Pastor Jay said, this book wasn't written by goat herders. Like, yeah. It was written by people herders, alien people herders, or something like that.
Well, the thing is, too, is like, I think, well, I might stand alone on this, but I know we kind of come across as just indifferent to most of the issues that happen in this world, but the fact is, we're all involved with the atheist community, and we all know all types of people who are involved in all types of these different, groups and everything like that. And so when it comes to quote-unquote our people, for example, the LGBT community or something like that, if they have an issue, stop waving your fucking head.
When you say our people, and for some reason I go back to Kumbaya. I don't know. Our people, Kumbaya fucking plays in my head, so I'm like.
Well, no, like if it comes down to like defending, transgender rights, stuff like that, we will, at a certain point, we won't do it on our channel necessarily, but as individuals, we'll defend people. But the only time, at least in my case, the only time I don't entertain thoughts or arguments is when I have an angry Christian coming on. I generally just troll them because it's just easier for me to do. Because I'm at that point now. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but I'm at that point now where I'm really not interested in the discussion about religion. And that might make me close-minded or whatever, but it's just not my thing. I'd rather make stupid videos and come home, play the guitar, and eat fattening foods and just live life until I die. I don't. And so
at the age of 33.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of these people when they come on that are funny. Oh man, I'll play with them all day because they're fun to be around. They're enjoyable to be around. But if you're gonna come on like trying to have a serious discussion on why transgender people shouldn't be allowed in bathrooms, I'm just gonna.
Oh my god. Yeah,
well, the religious conversations become fucking redundant at some point in time because they're referencing the same fucking 5 pieces of material for every fucking argument on the planet. It's like there's a whole fucking book you need to reference, first off. How many times do I have to point out the same 5 fucking pieces of scripture? And for you to say, well, it's all the way, it's the way you interpret it, or you're interpreting it wrong.
We bring that up a lot, too. But Pastor Jay will read a verse that's completely not related to what we're talking about. And then say, well, if you interpret it the way that I do, the correct way.
Right, correctly. If you want to sit with me and actually have a philosophical discussion about religion, fine, I will do that with you. But when you're going to come at me with this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why, and I'm like, Jesus wore a fucking dress, dude.
Now, to be honest, I'm not saying that there's not room for that argument. I mean, that argument is good for a lot of people to have, right? I don't want to say like, oh, you're stupid if you hate your nose. No, that's fine. If people like doing that, that's fun. That's great. You know, it's just for me, I'm just lazy, and I'm just, you know. But there are things like even atheists get shit wrong too. Like my biggest pet peeve, and I could be wrong here, is when people talk about the whole bashing the baby's heads against the rock. Like they use that as if they're saying the Bible's saying that's okay to do. I'm like, oh my God, that's the one thing that I hear constantly that's not correct. Because
I'm sorry.
It's some dude was just like, my whole fucking village got burned. I'm sad. I want to bash your baby's heads against the rock. God wasn't saying, yeah, go ahead and do that. So every time I hear like an atheist say that, I'm like, oh my God.
No, this is how you can tell exactly where I am in my atheism. You talk about bashing babies' heads against the wall after burning down a city, and I instantly think of what happened to Rhaegar Targaryen's children in Game of Thrones. My mind instantly fucking went to Rhaenyra's and Aegon and how he bashed Aegon's head against the fucking wall and killed him. After nearly burning down King's Landing. This is exactly where my fucking head went.
One of the other things I wanted to bring up was, I think it may be our most popular video this so far of 2016, was a random one that Jason posted, Driving with Pastor Jay, about transgender people being allowed to use the bathrooms in Target. And
let's set this up real quick. I'll let you get back into this, but just to set it up. You know, most of my Driving with Pastor Jay videos are all just improv because, you know. By the way, we started a Vines too, so I'm doing a lot more random.
Vine is perfect for my severe ADHD because it's like.
Oh yeah. So, but basically, I did that video to talk about like, as Pastor Jay, how horrible transgendered bathrooms are. But then at the end, I made up this story about how I dressed up in women's clothing, and I walked into a girl's bathroom, and oh my God, wouldn't you know it? They have service in there. They have people that give you towels. They have TVs in there.
Yeah, we actually do. Yeah. We actually fucking do.
And then I was like, no wonder why people want to dress up in women's clothing.
Sounds like the men's room at my strip club.
But
here's your complimentary towel. Wipe up your splooge.
But go ahead, Jeremy. I just wanted.
So anyway, we got so much hate and vitriol on that video from dumbass rednecks who were essentially just bashing the whole movement, the transgender equality movement. It was so ugly, like the things that they were saying, that was the first time in my life where I was reading through these comments. I'm like, Pastor Jay needs to put out a PSA. So that same night that I saw those comments, I came up with a script, and I was like, here, this has got to be fucking said. Fuck these people. Yeah. I was so pissed off at that because, we do come across like Jason said earlier that we don't care, but deep down on certain issues we have taken a position, and normally 9 times out of 10 it is the more progressive position on specific topics, ones that we can actually grasp and understand at least. Yeah. So Jason, what was it? I mean, it was like 2 days later he laid the thing down and just put it up because it was something that needed to be addressed immediately, that we are not okay with you coming on our videos and saying the stupid bullshit.
But here's the deal with that too. And there's a few of my friends who are activists right now who I kind of have friendly debates over about how to deal with things, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I was in the military, so I think I've been hardened up to a lot of other things in the past. Not to say that everyone that's in isn't hard, and everybody who wasn't in it, it's just the way I.
But being in the military, even being involved with the military, really does change your outlook on how you see a lot of shit in life.
And I'm the kind of person that when I see somebody getting picked on, my first instinct is to grab them by the shoulders and say, "Get on your feet, soldier. Let's keep going. Fuck those people." So the dilemma I run into is, on one hand, I don't think people should go out and be like mean towards somebody. Like, you shouldn't beat somebody up because of a fucking bathroom. You shouldn't, make fun of people because of who they are. Things like that. Make fun of ideas, sure. But on the other hand, I also run into this mindset of, you know, you can educate people all you want, but some people aren't going to ever change. So you have to also learn how to just be tough. Not saying you don't have a thick skin, not saying you're a big vagina for it, but for me, it's like, you know, I have that mentality of just fuck it. And so I think a lot of that plays into the whole Pastor J thing, why it comes off as maybe conceited sometimes, because we want people to learn or to watch us, to either live vicariously through us, to learn how to do it themselves, to just treat the world and to treat the haters and to treat the people that are dicks like they're not a big, like they're fucking nothing. And I feel like when you look at the movement, especially the atheist movement, you might have a lot of cases where everything is taken so seriously. And maybe there's a reason for that, right? I'm not saying they're wrong for that. But my brain is like, come on, everybody, just fuck those people. Let's have a beer. Let's do our own thing. They're not in our club. Fuck them. And I think that's...
No, I'm kind of there with you, because I'm getting
Fuck
really
those
fucking
motherfuckers.
tired of everybody being offended by every fucking thing.
No, but I will say that, I mean, I understand where those people are coming from, too.
No,
so don't
I
get me
understand
wrong.
why it
Yeah.
would. Why it would, certain things might upset certain people, I get that. But to sit and whine and, that's unfair to me and I'm being persecuted, I mean literally over every fucking thing. There is real deal serious shit going on in the fucking
Right.
world. I
That's
don't need
why.
to know. I really don't fucking
Christian
care
persecution.
if you're gonna sit here and whine while you piddle with your fucking dick that, oh, my Christian people are being fucking persecuted because they're making laws that go against my fucking religion. Dude, nobody gives a fuck about your belief.
Yeah, right.
You know what? People are offended that you believe in God, period. You're offended that
Hashtag
people
just let
believe in
people
fucking...
be.
Yeah, just let fucking people be. Stop being a whiny fucking bitch. Get the dick and the fucking dildo out of your ass, put it in your fucking cunt, and maybe you wouldn't be such an uptight, whiny fucking bitch.
Right.
No, persecution! Persecution! No, bitch, the only thing you're persecuting is your poor husband's fucking soul with that whiny, incessant shit.
But see, and here's the other thing. Like I said, I mean, I have one. This is gonna sound so cliche to say it, but we all have a mutual friend, I think, who's transgendered, and I'm not transgendered, so I can never sit there and tell you what it's like. I couldn't tell my friend get over that shit because, you know, whatever, because I'm not in her shoes, right?
Right.
But there is a part of me though that also wants to project my strength on her to protect her, even though she stands on her own. But it's
because I do it with her too. Yeah.
it's a weird dilemma because it's like I'm like, fuck it, come on, let's do this shit. Let's go out and like let's fucking hang out, and it's a tough thing. It's a fine. Well, actually, it's a gray area. So I think that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to not just have fun, but also hopefully, like the side hope is that people will like see what we can do, and they can kind of do the same thing.
And laugh through the toughness, kind of deal.
One of the videos that we did recently, we're like, fuck, we're gonna piss so many people off, was our anti-feminist video.
Yeah.
Where it clowned on feminism so hard. And the funniest thing was, one of Jason's friends, who is a staunch feminist, shared it and said that she liked it.
Oh, see, that's when you know, like, your message is actually being heard, is when shit like that.
Well, here's the deal. Like, I was expecting some feedback because I mentioned a guy in there who not many people like him because I made a comment about how he was fine until his feminist a girlfriend brainwashed him into being a feminist, and then I said, like this person. And now my thing is, like, there's a lot of people in the movement I don't like, but I'm not going to harp on them. I don't do response videos, but I might do a little call out. But the thing is
you might do a little diss track here and there.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know if you guys watched the anti-feminist video, but we basically go into how feminists are going to be chopping off men's heads soon and putting us in a boxcars. And I even have a sock puppet show in there. Why the fuck haven't you watched this yet? I did a sock puppet for this. I'm putting the link to that video into our group chat, and you're watching that tonight.
Is that the recent?
Yes, it's recent. That may be the single greatest piece of footage Jason has ever shot.
No, but
sock puppets.
I need to see this. Wait, are they crusty?
Let me tell you
the good talks.
Let me tell you a funny story about that whole thing. So I did the sock puppet video. I went out and got a green screen and everything. And I was like, okay, I've never done a green screen because I don't really try hard on our production, but I want it to look somewhat presentable. So I was like, so Rachel gives me the idea because I was reading her the script and there was a dialogue between two friends in there. She's like, it confused her. And she's like, why don't you do something like sock puppets? And at first I'm like, fuck that. And I was like, wait a minute. great idea. So I got a green screen, put my iPhone up, I painted some stupid dorky faces on some socks, and I did the whole sock thing. Well, I got done with the video, and I was like, great. So I wore those socks to work the next day because that was the only clean socks I had. I get home at night, I thought I got done with the video, and as I'm doing the edit, I realized I forgot a section of the video, so I took off my socks, put them on, did the rest of the script, and so the second video of the sock puppets, that's my dirty socks.
Oh my god.
I linked the video into the group chat, so you guys should watch that.
Yeah, I got it.
Like I said, I was
But
just really
I
more
like
curious if they were the crusty
this
ones you kept
counter-
under the bed.
I like this
No.
counter satire to where, because we're in this society now that every time somebody is legitimately offended by their treatment or something in this world, like transgenders or the the LGBT community, has every right to be offended with the way that they're being treated. There's always somebody that's counter offended. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
this
Somebody who's more
bullshit
offended than they need to be.
No, it's like Christians getting upset
Yes.
that they're not allowed to keep
to treat people like shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're rising up for your rights is offending my ability to treat people like they're subhuman.
I
So I
can't
like
treat you like
that.
a human if society recognizes you as human.
I like that you come from this counteroffensive kind of standpoint, but in this totally satire way.
Oh,
and it's like, this is how fucking ridiculous people look. With
with the feminist video when I threw in the guillotines, even though I know I'm not saying that right, but Christians today are still talking about. I was at a church like a couple years ago with my mom, and there was a question and answer afterwards. And some old woman raised her hand, and I'm not even fucking kidding you. She legitimately asked, "When do we have to start worrying about our heads getting chopped off by the atheist?" And I looked at my mom, and I was like, "What the fuck, Mom? What
no,
is going
sorry,
on
it's
here?"
ISIS that's doing that right
Well,
now.
yeah,
The
but
atheists have not gotten hold of this yet.
But the thing is people are still talking about using guillotines to chop off heads, and I'm like, why would we do that? That's so inefficient.
No,
We have a bunch of bodies in a hole and burn them.
No, it's technically still a recent form of execution. The last person that got their head
Not
chopped
in America, woman. Not
in America, but in a global scale. The last person they were still using it when fucking Star Wars was released. I mean,
But it's that absurd though, that throwing and mixing in that bit of uber crazy fear mongering Christianity, and combining that with feminists. Actually, because when I originally wrote that script, it wasn't about feminists; it was about transgender people, because it was the fear of transgender people cutting off our heads, and I was just going, "This isn't funny to me." And then I just switched over transgender to feminist, and I was like, "We have a fucking script, yeah."
This is fucking wonderful.
And so we're trying to make it as crazy and absurd as possible, because, like I said, I think as a character and as what we're doing as a group is we're getting away from what we used to do of just picking on Christians, and we're just trying to be crazier than Alex Jones. We're trying to say stupider shit than the chemtrail people say. We're just trying to go above and beyond.
People also kind of get
Than
tired.
chemtrails.
Oh, trust me, you should
there is
see our video proof that angels exist video.
There is a woman. Yeah, we have a video. Chemtrails are real. Or angels are proof, something like that. And because what we do in our videos a lot. What I've started to do is just throw in clips of crazy people talking. For the intro, because I'll do an intro. Like with elevator music in the background, then it cuts into now I have people watching TV and there's like a clip of some crazy Christian talking, and then it cuts into the intro, which I did a good job on that, by the way. And then my music.
I'm gonna toot my own horn here for a second. Sorry.
No, he really did though. It was beautiful. You should see the evolution of it from the beginning to the end.
I'm gonna watch like all of these videos tonight, right? Like,
Yeah, you should
out to my
definitely.
team, be like,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you'll see like that. That all the music's mine too. So and I have the music underlying when I'm talking, and it's like so it's very like it gives you that sense of like uneasiness. I'm talking really
uneasiness
fast.
and urgency.
Yeah, and of course I do basically if you haven't seen my videos before, they're like watching a Vines but like 5 minutes long, because I just jump cut.
A Vine compilation video.
That's exactly what it is, dude.
You realize Jay still has not spoken. Jay's barely fucking spoken.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad.
horrible.
So there's a little bit about what Jeremy's strong at writing about. Why don't we hear what Jay likes
After
to write
this, it's going to be all Jay, but I do want to say in that video, the Angels chemtrail video, there was a woman that went out her backyard one day because she saw chemtrails, and she had a spray bottle of vinegar And she fucking went in her backyard and started spraying the vinegar so the chemtrails wouldn't fucking poison her. And I thought, that is the funniest thing. I'm not even mad. That is so funny. Like,
I mean, vinegar does some amazing shit cleaning the house. I fucking use that shit everywhere. Don't get
and
me
it
wrong.
tastes great. Yeah, exactly.
Delicious.
It feels great in wounds.
Wow.
But now we're gonna give Jay the floor because
Let's go
I
with
feel
Jay.
he hasn't spoken much. So Jay, what inspires you? Like, what topics do you like to write about? Do you feel you've produced the best content when writing about it?
Oh man, I don't know. I just as far as that goes, I don't. I've only been writing comedy for like a year and a half. I've been writing since I was like 6, but it's normally darker, weirder fucking shit, and so the comedy shit's only been happening for like a year and a half. I'll just find something I'm just like, I can't believe I just read that, or I can't believe I just saw that, or I just can't believe. And then I'll throw a script down, I'll send it to Jason, I'm like, what do you think? And he'll come back with, I'm doing it, or I'm not doing it, or we'll see what's going on.
All right, so I'm going to assume that who's buzzing again? There we
Probably
go.
me. Sorry.
I'm going to assume that when Jason
It's the
says,
angels and the chemtrails. They're speaking to you.
when Jason says, I'm not doing it, I'm assuming that's when you're channeling, the dark shit you used to write about, like the mass slaughter of babies. And
I don't think I've ever rejected.
He might not have.
I don't think I've ever, like 99% of the time, whenever Jay or Jeremy sends, or Lucy or Ryan, whenever they send me anything, it's usually like, yep, I'm going to go with exactly that. And usually the way we kind of work it is if somebody writes an entire script, everyone else's, kind of role at that point is just to kind of add to it to make it better.
Right.
And
Speaking to their own personalities and, right.
Yeah, none of us have ever rejected a script. The only thing I do is I have to just make sure it flows right. Because we're all at the point where we know what Pastor Jay acts like. And the only thing I do, if Jay sends me a script, if there's anything that doesn't flow right, I might have to add a word to make it flow, or add the kind of. But that's about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually write everything at this point in Jason's voice.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
It's crazy. I know exactly where to jump cut. Because I know exactly where.
This is completely taking over your life now. You're going to be sitting there thinking about shit like Frosted Flakes in fucking Pastor Jay's voice.
Well, here's the thing. Unlike Jay, I've been writing comedy since I was 16. I used to be a stand-up comic. So writing comedy for me isn't all that difficult.
Yeah, it's your second nature. It's your second skin.
Yeah, it's because I'm very cynical about the world. So that makes the greatest comedy.
It really does.
Because I get to see the world from an outside perspective and go, "You're a fucking idiot. I'm gonna make fun of you right now."
No, get that fucking rainbow from out of your ass. It's not that fucking happy. You glitter shitting unicorn bitch. No.
Right. So I've really, since I do have that cynicism, it's been really easy to write for this character. I have to say, for me, you can ask Jason. I've said, "Hey, I've got an idea for a script. I'll have it to you in 15 minutes."
Yeah.
15 minutes emailed to him.
I wish my writing burst would do that. I can never just be like, oh, okay, boom, and have it right there.
It has gotten easier. It has gotten easier over time too, because like I said, like Jason said, we have learned the character much better, and we do understand that we were writing for a character. At the very beginning, it was more difficult because I had this mentality that I was writing for Jason.
Right.
So now it's now we've got this character that's kind of got his backstory's done, So
it kind of becomes this actual person at this point.
Right.
It actually, it morphed into something. Because even for me, when I first did these few videos, I had another YouTube channel where I taught Pro Tools. Because I went to Berklee College of Music for 3.5 years for music, so I decided to do a YouTube channel where I taught how to do audio production.
I was actually looking into them for music. I was actually looking into
good school.
I was looking. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's like my penis counterpart. It's fucking bizarre. It's completely fucking bizarre.
Well, yeah, when I did this whole thing, when I first wanted to do that first video, and just like Jay mentioned, I I mean, I know what makes me laugh, but I've always been funny around groups of people and blah blah blah. But I've never actually put a production together. I've never. So for me, it was the same thing. I was just writing things that were funny. And like if you were to watch our latest video, then go back and watch our first video. It is so awkward because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like
I'm just trying to make this work and see if I can pull it off.
Yeah, the jump cuts were like, "Hey, it's Pastor Jay here. 1, 2, 3."
God, that sounds like the latest god awful movie.
Yeah.
More Than Chance, where they everybody waits 5 seconds before delivering their next line.
Rachel and I watched that last night, and we got halfway through, and she's like, "Fuck this, we're not watching."
You know what? I can't even. I can't bring myself to fucking do it. I just can't. I'm like, I don't have that much time in the day with the kid and everything. So the time that I do have to myself, I don't want to aggravate myself with. You know.
See, that's why Jim and I, we hang out, we'll get stoned and watch these movies, and we'll sit there, and we'll look at each other, we'll pause and go, I'm not so stoned that just popped into my head. That actually happened,
am I
right?
That fucked up? No.
When the production of your movie on Netflix is worse than the production of Konw the Trut Ministries videos, you're doing something wrong.
Well, the best was... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, it takes me... From the time I record a video to the time I'm done with the editing, it takes me about 2 or 3 hours, and I'm done. And most of our videos are better than a lot of these Christian Netflix videos are.
Oh, because
they're all fucking directed by Kirk Cameron. That's why.
But the best was Jim and I were watching. I think it was Exodus. It's where they portray Christian Bale as Moses, and that in itself is fucked up. And when he's given the commandments,
I'm seriously fucking missing shit. I'm missing out on shit, man.
Yeah, it was not you. You didn't miss anything. But Jim reminded me of this the next day because apparently when he was giving Moses the 10 Commandments, I'm sitting there and I'm going, "What about raping kids? What about raping kids? Why not raping kids?
That should definitely fucking be on there."
You know,
no other god before me. That's far more important.
That's the great thing about Christian cinema too, is like, you know, because Rachel and I were talking the other day, and you know, when she talks, like when she was on Dogma Debate, and when we do the Atheist on Air segments and everything, like Rachel likes to talk about science and evolution, right? She likes to speak in facts. In fact, she's taught me a lot of, you know, how not to give my opinion out, because opinions aren't always facts, or if ever, and you can get yourself in a lot of trouble, you know. And so, like, I won't get myself involved with most debates, more serious discussions, because I know most people are smarter than me with that shit. With Rachel, she talks about evolution and science because she has evolution and science to back her up. And so when you live in that kind of world, it's easy to cover all your bases, right? Now, with all that just being said, when you watch these Christian movies, you can't poke any more holes in these movies. Even some of the worst non-Christian movies out there that are like really shitty aren't as bad as some of these productions. And I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to appeal to emotion, Jesus this, Jesus that. But there was another movie that Rachel and I watched with Kevin Sorbo, how he was rich. I think it was covered in God awful movies. He was rich, but then he got sent to an alternate universe where he was back with his high school girlfriend.
Like Trading Places kind of deal, or
yeah,
or like a sliding doors thing.
Like kind of one of those things, like this is what your life could have been. So your life, instead of you being a rich multimillionaire, your life could have been living at home with this woman and 5 kids or whatever, or 2
because
kids.
You know, that's such a fucking miserable life.
Well, yeah, and the thing is like with all these movies, and the reason why Gamcast is so good at doing it is because it's so easy. Not that Gamcast is easy. I mean, those guys are talented, but just as far as poking holes in the movies, it's like it's so easy to do that with. It's so easy, and it's just it's hard. It's hard for most rational people to watch one of those movies and take it seriously. So.
Well, because all the money is going towards paying off the cops to cover up the sex scandal. I mean, that's why.
Okay, I have to ask: have you guys had the self-loathing it took to watch what the fuck is his name? Ray Comfort's movie Audacity?
I think I did.
No.
I made the mistake of watching it sober, and I actually.
I want to hear Jay's opinion. I want to hear Jay's opinion.
Yeah, I want to hear Jay's opinion on this.
I got through 10 minutes, and I think I threw and broke my remote. If I remember.
And we can wrap this up for tonight now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I fucked up and watched it sober too.
I probably shit on it then too.
shit on your remote. I
fucking
watched
knew
it.
better, but
I had found the preview like a week before it came out, and I did a little discussion on it in our show back in like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was
And-
early on.
And then after it came out, I was like, I'm curious. So I actually made the mistake of watching it, and I went through and I kind of ripped it apart. It wasn't as skilled because I'm not a good reviewer of movies per se, and I'm still coming to a lot of the smarter thoughts that kind of happen once in a while. But I'm sitting there and I'm going, what
Rarely.
is
They
wrong
happen
with
very
you?
rarely to him.
Oh, so rare. It's
Rarely.
It's why it's only like every once a month I do something like that. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm going, who actually agrees with it? Who's watching this and going, that's just a rat. That's just rat.
Yeah, like who's watching these things and agreeing with this kind of shit?
Here's the trick. When you watch those movies, or read something stupid, or whatever it is that you do that you know it's going to make you mad. Like, for example, when I listen to Catholic radio on my way to work every morning.
What?
Oh my god, you just fucking hate yourself.
What?
No, I'm just always looking for material, to be honest with you.
Oh god.
But I think
man.
I think I do more research on the Christian side of things.
Yeah,
because of research
more
than
fucking
anybody.
Christians actually research their own fucking religion.
Right, but well, let me just get this out real quick, Jeremy. The thing is when you watch these types of movies or whatever it is with somebody who hates it more than you, it's like when they get mad, you can't get mad anymore because you're laughing at not the movie, but you're laughing at how mad they're getting.
Yes.
And so, like, when Rachel and I watch these Christian movies together, because sometimes, even without Gamcast, like, even Savannah was like, Rachel, let's find a Christian movie. She's like, fuck no. I laughed, though, when she's just like, what? When we watched that one movie that Gamcast covered about the evolution, like, your mom's a monkey or whatever, you know, like, Rachel lost her shit, and I was just so happy. That's
so fucked up. I love it.
That's the key to not getting mad at this shit. Is find a friend who gets more mad at it than you.
And then get mad at that, and then laugh at them for getting so mad.
Yes.
Okay. I live in Tennessee. This should be absolutely no fucking problem.
It's funny. We can always tell when Jason's been watching a Christian movie because around 7 or 8 p.m. we get this message in our group chat, holy shit, ... and then we just wait for it.
And then the script comes through.
And then we have a new script.
Oh, good
Oh
lord,
my
that's
god, that's
amazing.
fucking hysterical.
So I think we've about hit the hour mark, or almost the hour mark. So
And Jay has said all the 3 words, which I fucking am mad about that.
4.
Oh.
Don't worry. We'll get him back. We'll actually make him talk one of these days.
Yeah,
but,
next time if you have us on, just have him on.
Yeah. And we'll just mute the other 2. We'll just mute the other 2 and let
Jason
them
and I
talk.
can't make it that night.
all right. So tell our listeners, where can they find your guys' material?
Where can they find your shit? Jay, where can they find your shit? Shut the fuck up, the 2 of you. Jay, where can they find
Alright, you can find my stuff at...
You guys do realize I have control. I can sit here and mute people's microphones and make the only one having a conversation.
Oh my god, that is the exact type of thing a Canadian would fucking enforce control over. It's not like we have an awesome army or we actually have bombs. It's like, no, I can mute you on the fucking internet. That is like the most Canadian fucking thing I think I've ever heard you say.
You have an army?
Okay.
Alright,
It's news to me, but it's hey, look, our prime minister elbowed a woman the other day. Okay,
I am so in love with this man. I was like, this is the coolest motherfucker ever. He's marching in pride parades. He's welcoming refugees,
Hey.
and then he elbows some fucking bitch on the parliament floor, and I'm like, this is the best mother. I want him running the new world order. I want fucking Justin Trudeau running every fucking world government everywhere from this point on out.
Why didn't I see that article, Feminist Elbows Woman?
Yes! He was like, he grabs this dude because he had just had enough of his fucking parliament. Rips
no,
this
they
dude
were
off the
they were
floor.
blocking the opposition.
Right,
And he went
yeah.
to try to pull him out,
Hold
and
on. Stop right there. We're Americans. We don't give a fuck about your politics.
Fuck you, I love this shit.
Dude, this could have been on pay-per-view. Like, come on, this would have been on UFC last
He
weekend.
rips the guy out to get him out of the group that's trying to block him, and then fucking completely cold clock elbows this bitch in the fucking face. And I'm like, we
I
need
watched
this
the
in
video and
Congress.
he barely touched her, though. That's hilarious.
I'm like, we need this shit in Congress. I want to see elbows thrown. I want to see chairs being flung. I want to see somebody body slam Orrin fucking Hatch. Okay.
So
I below that says something to fat to.
I want to see Joe Biden get up and fucking body slam Newt Gingrich.
Okay, I think the guys were trying to tell us where we can find them.
Sorry.
Jay, do your thing, man.
Oh man.
Serenade us.
He's like,
on,
we have to talk.
Welcome to the show, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay's here. Good to see you.
But hold on a second. We've got a small glitch because Jason had a brilliant idea when he started the channel and the page and everything that nothing is spelt right.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna ask about that, but all right, now I know.
Yeah, that is the biggest pain in the ass.
Yeah.
When you're trying to tell somebody about it, and they're like, I can't find it. I'm punching it in. I'm like, yeah, you got to punch it in. Then it's going to take you to know the truth, or it's going to say, or did you mean what you typed? You got to put yes. That's what the fuck I meant.
Yes, that's exactly.
Fucking find it.
I fucking love that shit with Google.
Yes, So it's like know the truth, which is actually Konw.
Konw the Trut.
You know how many times that fucking I had to like really look at that, and I was like,
Which is actually really weird because on my Twitter account it says that I'm a script writer for Know the Truth, and like instantly I got jumped on by this guy who said, "How can you be a writer? You don't even know how to spell no." I'm like,
no,
hey,
dude, just don't even bother watching my shit. Okay.
First of all, dickhead, truth's not spelled right either. Second of all, that's the name of the channel. And he's like, oh, don't blame it on the channel. I said, I can't fucking change the channel name, dumbass.
We need to have a whole show with Jay.
Oh shit! Jason DC'd.
He what?
Oh,
He disconnected.
he just looks so happy, though.
Oh, and
Be back in a second. Be back in a second.
Fuck him. Fuck him. You want to leave? You go. Fuck you.
so it's
I'm
Konw the
captain now.
Trut is your
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
KONW the Trut TRUT.
Truth.
We will leave links in our on our page in our notes just so everybody can check you guys out. All 11 of our listeners you promised us.
Yeah, you better get
Yeah.
better get at least 10. At least 10.
I can promise
That
7.
will put us in the double digits.
Hey, don't leave yet, Jason. Hey, don't leave yet. I say we all leave right fucking now.
I say we wait till he comes back, then we leave.
Never say all right, bye. Motherfucker.
That'd be epic.
Oh, the poor bastard.
Yeah, that's what he gets for living in Texas.
You know, it's like I sit here and bitch about Tennessee, and I'm like, at least it's not Texas.
Yeah.
Ooh. So Jay, what's your Twitter handle then, if you want people to find
It's
you?
just at Jay Crofut, JayCrofutt. Same as on Facebook.
Excellent, excellent. What about you, Jeremy? Since we're still waiting for the mouthpiece.
I don't really use Twitter, honestly.
Finally, somebody else in like the atheist entertainment community that does not fucking use Twitter. Thank you.
Hey, I'm not great at it. I have an account.
Yeah, see, I
He's like
have
a
an
main
account. I have an account, and I only use it every once in a while to make fun of people. But it's Meninist for lulz,
Oh my god.
where I go in and I make fun of absolutely fucking everybody.
I love
I'm
that.
back.
Oh my god.
All right, and good night. No, I'm just kidding.
And good night.
How can people find you?
Who? Oh, what's happening?
He's like, ooh, the FBI. I didn't know how to warrant.
What do they say?
No, it's not Twitter.
No, don't even worry about it. Just don't even worry about it.
Fuck it. We don't even care about you anymore.
You don't want to know
Fuck
what
you, you
you
left.
said.
We don't even fucking care about you anymore. You left. Fuck you.
That's a fair point, actually.
What's your Twitter handle, numbnuts?
I think Twitter is Konw the Trut. Yeah, what Jay was saying about Yeah, again, I didn't plan on this channel being anything big, so I just spelled it just because. I was also hoping that the stupid spelling of the name would like give the hint out to most people that it was meant to be not taken seriously, yet everyone still does take it seriously. But yeah,
that's how you get the Illuminati off your kids.
Yeah.
They don't have dyslexia ever.
He messaged me about 4 or 5 times that day with, "What do you think would be a good name?" And I was like, "I have no fucking idea." So we were bouncing ideas back off of each other, and he came up with that. Like, yes, fucking that.
Yeah.
That would make
Absolutely
so much sense.
this. Get it now. Lock that shit down.
Yeah. And Twitter, it's at however they spelled it for you guys, Konw the Trut. So it's at Know the Truth or Konw the Trut. We also
I giggle every time I hear that.
we also I'm gonna start saying that. Hey, Patrick J from Konw the Trut.
You know, like you just realized after 2 years that it's spelled wrong.
Yeah. And what's funny about it too is like when I first, if you watch the very first video where the new intro is, I actually spelled it like with the Konw, but I messed it up because autocorrect came in and actually spelled it no, and I remember messaging them all pissed off because it was spelled right. I'm like, it's fucking spelled right, man. And so yeah, there's that. So there's the Twitter. We also are on Instagram now under Pastor J.
Is it S an S or is it a dollar sign?
No, I think it's S on Instagram because it wouldn't let me do the dollar sign. But we're also under Vines now. I'm trying to get Jeremy and Jay to do Vines, but I think it's also under Pastor J. Let me look real quick. Yeah, it's under $PA$TER and then J with a capital J. And so you guys, we just started like 2 days ago, so I'm just, I'm still getting the hang of it. But
oh my God.
I'm
not going to bed till like 2 this morning now. Thank you.
We're also I'm also doing with my own music. I do a loststateofmind.com, all one word, and then a loststateofmind.bandcamp.com. None of the shit that we do, we make money off of. Like we don't do
it's just for fun,
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against people that do it for money, but we're just having a good time. So, like with my music, there is an option to pay if you want, but I don't care.
I'm not paying you. I'm a fucking
that's fine.
mother. I'm not paying you.
That's fine. And in fact, my music's being torrented now. My latest album, or one of my latest.
That
albums.
means you really made it.
One of the band members from El Nino came by my house a couple of days ago because Rachel's dog sitting one of their dogs or two of their dogs. And I told him like about my music, and he's like, yeah, like he didn't care. And I was like, yeah, my shit's being torrented now. And he's like, oh, right on, man.
That's you made it. If your shit is being illegally stolen and downloaded, you have made it.
Yeah. So for anybody that gets stuck, if they like my music enough and they're like, oh shit, there's an option to pay, just type in $0.00 and you can still download it for free. If you want to pay, that's great. But yeah,
I'm a great friend.
Yeah. Not as long as it's cool.
Jeremy provides the hand jobs and he pays for your music.
Right. Hey, for me, as long as people enjoy it, like I said, check out those sites. I think I group messaged you guys.
A couple I got
it. Yeah, okay. And that's.
We're almost at 2,100.
What's up?
We need some subs because we're almost at 2,100.
Yeah. Jay, did you mention?
Wow, I haven't heard that. Like 2,100, like use of rounded time like that, like forever. You totally flashed me back real quick. Holy shit. Okay.
Gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for joining us. You the real MVPs.
Seriously, what the fuck was that shit?
We get a fucking applause, bitch. Don't fucking take that from us.
No, that is some pre-recorded generic Google Plus shit. You usually add that shit in after we record. Don't fucking do that shit to me.
Those are our fans, and I want to.
Those are the angels clapping from heaven.
Wait, random fact.
See? They're laughing. Fact. Jeremy made it funny. No. They're laughing.
Random fact. The laugh tracks you hear and the applause tracks you hear from shows were recorded in the 50s. So technically we're hearing dead people laugh and clap. Yep. So they're your fans, ladies and gentlemen.
Some of them have to still be alive.
Well,
that turns me on.
Like 84.3% of our subscribers are dead.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then so those really are your fans. Awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple people that are sub to us that are dead now. It's kind of morbid.
Yeah, we're not joking. We actually...
All right, so I was gonna ask you guys each a personal question, but I think that's an even better note to end on.
No. What's the personal?
Let's do
Personal
little
question.
questions.
I'll do personal.
Oh, we'll do. Well,
That was
now
a
I'm on
little
the
too
spot, and now I'm a
fucking
little
eager there.
nervous.
Okay, he's like, I'll do personal.
I'll do personal. I don't give a fuck.
Nobody is waving around dollar bills. God damn it. Okay.
I'm my fourth drink in. I'm bored. Hit me.
All right. Okay, so since Jeremy kind of danced around the kink question earlier, I think I'm gonna create one question, and it's gonna go to all three of you.
Okay.
Oh yes.
I want to know the one porn video you've seen that is the one that you do not ever want found in your search history. We're going to start with Jay.
Holy shit.
Oh man.
Are we including hard drives or just history?
Are we including the dark web?
Everything. All of it.
Oh, the dark web. Jason, I think you and I might be a little bit in trouble here.
I mean, mine's easy.
Wow.
Mine's easy.
Mine's not. I don't get offended by it much. I'm good for snuff films, so I don't. As long as somebody's getting fucked, I don't care.
He watches those doll porn. It's a rubber doll.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have no idea.
So snuff films it is.
All right.
Okay.
Jeremy, your turn.
Oh, God damn it.
You wanted the question, fuck night.
You want it first?
So, here we go.
This is like truth or dare in high school, man. You don't know what you're going to get.
So, I almost want to give the backstory for this, but I'm not going to because I think the answer will be much funnier. I once watched a fat chick get plowed by a pig. I'm not giving the backstory.
That's my screensaver.
Oh, good God. All right. Well, that's interesting. Jason, can you top that?
Now, one thing I wouldn't want anybody else to know about, I'd be embarrassed by, probably my 2 terabytes of incest porn and my search history that consists only of incest porn, unless I'm looking at Facebook.
Well, I live in Tennessee,
that's
so
just
I
in between
can.
masturbation.
Well, here's the thing. I live in Tennessee, so I can provide you with plenty of incest porn on Facebook.
That's all Tennessee has.
No. You don't need to provide me. You don't need to provide me with any of that because
I mean, they usually just call them marriages.
so-
It's usually a marital status.
Jason, I have to ask, which type of incest are we talking?
Father, son, mother, son,
Twin brothers jerking
The sons.
Twin
He
brothers.
likes the sons.
yeah.
I want you guys to all hear this right now. That is the sound of every single one of our listeners hitting unsubscribe and delete.
Tomorrow, whenever this comes
No,
out,
that's the sound of every one of our listeners calling the FBI.
except for the listeners in Tennessee, they're all subscribing right now.
Yeah, they're all like, oh, they get me. Oh.
I'm definitely going to need a link.
Yeah, if Know the Truth subscriptions go up, if I look at the YouTube channel a week from now, we're like
We know
at 50,000
exactly
views.
who that came from.
We know the audience we're catering to.
I'm also going to call... I'm taking this moment to call Jason a dick for not dropboxing that shit.
I'll just send you a hard drive, man. It's no big deal. I'll send you a hard drive.
Awesome.
I got 2 terabytes of it.
So while Jason and Jeremy try to work this out, we're going to thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to thank
Thank
these
you
gentlemen
guys
for
for
joining
coming
us.
on. We had a blast at you guys.
This was
Thank you.
awesome. We look forward to having you on again.
Absolutely,
Good night,
man.
everybody.
Absolutely.
Hey.
The Not Another Atheist podcast experience is run by Jenn and Keith. If you wish to contact the hosts, please write to nehehp@gmail.com. They can be found at facebook.com/NotAnotherAtheistPodcast or search Not Another Atheist Podcast on iTunes and Stitcher to subscribe and leave reviews.
Not become a piss drunk cock.
I'm picking up my panties and I'm going home. Okay.